Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I'd like to look at Aries for the month of November this morning. Of course, we've just come off a full moon in Aries in October. That unleashed, I should say, this fiery kind of energy where people stood up and they expressed themselves, they expressed their individuality. I do feel that for some Arians, there has been a lot resolved in their lives, perhaps a coming back to themselves, a reunion also, not just with themselves, but with those around them, perhaps even friends and family as well. I do feel, though, when I tune into Aries this morning, I feel that some of you are feeling restricted, though. And so the energy that we saw in October is going to fully play out in November. I feel some of you want to actually break out of the confines and look at it's a wonderful time to do it as we're moving toward the end of the year and the start of a new year. It's when we set our intentions. So for Arians, they may be actually setting their intentions. How do they want to live next year? What are the things that they want to accomplish? But more importantly, it's how do they get in touch with themselves? So it's going remembering the past, remembering those times when they were fully expressing who they are. I feel that they're wanting to throw off some restrictions this month in November to really get back in touch with the essence of who they are. So let's pull some cards and bring the laptop down. Oh, one wants to fly out and see what has to be said in this reading. Treasure Island number 9. Some of you are closing down a cycle. You've worked hard to do this, but I feel that this card here is asking you again, what is the treasure that you've gained? Is it really what you want? Is it really what you want to go forward and start a new cycle? Because I'm feeling some dissatisfaction there from the Aryan energy generally. And it is all about manifesting dreams. This is the number 20, imagine. And it is calling upon you to look into the future and say, where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Who do I want in my life? It's almost like Aryans are thinking about the past a lot, but also how present circumstances might be restricting them. Aryans do need to break out. They do need to express themselves. And I do feel for some, even though you've made tremendous gains, could have even been you've got the career you want, you've got the money you want, you're where you want to be professionally, things are looking good, but something's missing. And this is really the answer for you. It's to imagine who you want to be and where you want to be and what you want to be. And this is also to do with others. I feel with the number 2, which is collaboration, networks, friendships, familial relationships. You need to work out what you really want from those relationships and make sure that your individuality isn't lost within them. So 52, there is a mending here. As I said, that some Aryans are feeling a little bit restricted in relationships. It's almost as if they feel they've got to play a part. Some Aryans are feeling like they've got to play a part in relationships, and it's not who they are or what they want to be. So I'm going to be using the Wild Tarot. The Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz for this reading. All right, let's have a look at the month, Aryans in the month of November. What do we need to know for our Aryan friends? What's coming up? What's coming up for Aries in the month of November? What's coming up? Let me just give these a really good shuffle. What's coming up for Aries in the month of November? What's coming up for Aries in the month of November? Aries in the month of November. All right, our first card out is the 7 of Swords. So again, I feel that this reading is talking a lot about relationships around you. And it could be that you may have reunited with old friends or old family relationships, might be experiencing a renewal. but you're worried about those relationships. You don't want to go down the same path. The same path as in the past. You actually need to be free to be who you are. Let's see what the restrictions are. The restrictions, you're being challenged by coming to an understanding or a realization that it's not the outside that determines who we are. It's the inner you that does that. And you're being asked to go inward and connect with your intuition. The High Priestess here is all about the third eye chakra. Being psychically aware. So a part of being psychically aware is not repeating the patterns from the past. It's actually understanding that that we have the power within us to stop a repeat of the past. So there's no need, if this Seven of Swords is making you feel restricted, the answer to breaking out of that restriction is within yourself. I've got the Son of Pentacles here. Now this is expressed as a deer here, somebody who is reliable, who's patient, who's always there in terms of turning up for others, turning up in their career, turning up for their boss, turning up for their clients. They're always there. And I am sensing this restriction. And I come back to this Imagine card. It's almost like the relationships that you've built in your life around you are actually restricting you at the moment. So it's almost like you've got most things you want, but you haven't got the thing that you want, and you possibly don't understand what that is, because we've got the Daughter of Wands here, and this is passion, this is new growth, going back to the past and understanding when that passion was alive in your life in the past. This is what you're missing. You're missing the essence of you, the essence of creativity, the essence of inspiration. And I do feel that also with this Son of Cups in the potential future, you are going to be hearing some kind of news that will take you a little bit by surprise. But like most things in life that I have experienced, information that's coming to us that might strike an emotional chord generally takes us down a path that we've manifested ourselves. So there could even be for some an offer here that I do feel, I'm not feeling it's in connection with finances or career. I feel it could even be a reunion of some description. Some of you might have already been through this reunion, either with old friends or family, but for some this is coming up. It is with family, with this Ten of Cups, family, friends. This is unconditional love. This is the ties that bind. So I feel in November, it's not about work for Aries. It's about inspiration. It's also about emotional inspiration, and it's about those relationships that are closest to them. I've got the emphasis on some kind of information that's going to come to you that's going to have an impact. We've got the Devil card, so if this information comes forward, don't obsess about it. It could also even be there to show you that your focus on on the earthly activities, such as your career, such as your job, such as reliability, such as volunteering, such as being there for your family, for your community, etc., isn't giving you the inspiration that you actually need. And you do have to find that within relationships, whether that be friendships or familial relationships. We do find the essence of who we are it's reflected back to us in our closest relationships. So I feel that again, November will be about not just relationships with others, but also learning about yourself and learning about what you want. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. So again, you're wondering, well, if I take my eye off my career, my job, if I take my eye off my community work or my artistic endeavors or whatever it is whatever is work for you, you think, oh, I'll drop the ball. But that's not the case at all. We need to always remember balance. This could also be suggesting that there is a little bit of work to be put in around some of your closest relationships. It is a completion cycle. I've got the Ten of Wands here as an outcome position in November. As I said, this restriction, and I get a sense with these cards that you would rather be on the other side of this barrier. There is this, when I opened up, I saw almost like the bars of a prison. So I do feel that there is some situation that you have to break out of, Aries, one way or another. And it is, I do feel, getting in touch with your emotions in some way, getting in touch with your the way that you relate to others, the quality of your relationships within your family or your friendships. I feel that it's time to go there in November. And we've got the Seven of Wands. Again, you could be, this is an upward defensive energy, but there is, at the end of the day, still a hope and a passion that will come forward. And so I do feel that even if I'm talking to an Aryan viewer here who's had difficulties in relationships, who is carrying a heavy load one way or another, this is the best way forward, is to confront those difficulties that you might be having, whether that's within yourself and what I think for some might be a lack of motivation generally, or whether this is in a difficult relationship. There's some situation that needs to be broken out of. I've got the Queen of Swords, so this is again attacking it with objectivity and wisdom. This is also the truth coming forward in some way. This, I do feel, is again around truth within yourself, but also truth in your closest relationships as well. For those that might have been as I said, focusing on other things and not on relationships or collaborations with others, or the way that others in our life can actually enhance our lives. If we've forgotten that momentarily because we've been too busy with other things, it's time to remember that now. And for others, I'm talking to, they really have lost a passion, an inspiration, and it's time now to reignite that passion. And you'll be doing a lot of thinking in November about where you want to be in 2020. Now, I have the Four of Cups, so yes, there has been some disappointment there and some sort of loss. And I do feel this could be going back into the past. This could be why you might have been throwing yourself into other things, anything other than relationships. There could have been just, wanting time out in some way. But it is time for new starts and this reinvigoration of the energy. I'll just bring that in closely there for you to look at. This new start will actually give you that passion. The reds and the yellows and the oranges in this card, all dealing with our base chakra, our sacral chakra, and our solar plexus chakra, and this is showing that this inspiration. This will bring, once you decide where you want to be in 2020, once you decide the direction that you want to head, both within your closest relationships, within your the balance between work-life balance, but most importantly, the essence of you. Once you decide where you're going in 2020, This will bring forward this wonderful inspiration that you feel's been lacking in your life of late. So a little bit of introspection there for Aries in the month of November, but it's an introspection around your close relationships, around your balance, your work-life balance, but most importantly, it bringing out the essence of you. It will be time well spent in November. Thank you for tuning in.